Hi, my name is John Kozinski, and I'm going to be talking about different lifestyles and different dietary needs. A lot of times people will recommend that people eat a certain way, while their lifestyle is totally different from that person. This happens also when a person is recommending to eat a certain way and they say, I feel great eating this way, you should eat this way. An example of this is when a young person, recommends that everybody eat a certain way, and he's telling that to an older person to eat that way. There are some different considerations, as an example of different needs and different lifestyles for different people. And that is because when you're young, you can do lots of things that are stressful for your body. And your diet, whether it be a diet that's missing some nutrients, like a vegan diet, if it's not supplemented, or a low-carb diet, any diet that's missing nutrients, even though it's healthy, can put your body in the stress mode. And when you're young, your body can take a lot of stress and you feel fantastic. But a person after 40, after 50, after 60 who does the same kind of diet won't have the same effect. For example, I knew some friend who basically was on a very narrow style vegan macrobiotic diet, and she basically was on that for years and years and years, and it wasn't only till after 30 years or more that she discovered she had serious B12 deficiencies and serious vitamin D deficiencies, which are only really in animal foods sources. And the reason that it took so many years, I think, for her to develop, to understand, get affected by her diet that was deficient in nutrients, was that she had a lifestyle where she didn't have to do anything. She had a bit of money, so she didn't have to do anything. She didn't have to have any work pressures, family pressures that other people have. For instance, when people have lots of pressure, they need certain more concentrated nutrients in their diet because they'll have to put out energy. Someone's working like a 60-hour week, or someone is hardly working at all, you're going to have different dietary needs. So for instance, when people in Asia, the monks were vegetarian, they lived in monasteries where they didn't have to deal with the dust of the world. They meditated a lot, had a quiet lifestyle. But then when you try to eat a monk-like diet, which is more vegetarian, and you try to live in the world, it may not quite fit, because things like animal-sourced nutrients will give you a lot more energy. So we have to be careful with the different lifestyles and different dietary needs and different bodies. For instance, after a certain age, it's very difficult to absorb certain nutrients, and so the diet has to have certain concentrated nutrients, like B12, because it's going to be hard to absorb them. So the different diets and different lifestyles, we have to really be careful that today, what we do, a very common practice is that people will say, everybody should do X diet. So for instance, people will say, everybody should eat a raw food diet. And a raw food diet is missing in many, many nutrients because it's low in protein, low in fat, low in carbohydrate. But one person feels great doing it for a period of time, and then they'll say everybody should do it. Same with the low-carb diet. Low-carb paleo diets, people will do well for reasons that are not really because it's low-carb, but because it's natural, no sugar, no refined flour. And they do great on it, and maybe they do even great on it long term, but other people don't do well on it. But they say everybody should do it. Same way with a vegan diet. Everybody should say, well, everybody should eat vegan, nobody should eat meat, and this is great for everybody. But the fact is that, in my studies, particularly of diagnosis, I found there's certain body types who do well being mostly vegan or vegetarian. People usually with big jaws and really long ears. And people with wide foreheads and narrow jaws tend to have weaker digestion. But the ironic thing is that people with the narrow jaw and the big forehead, they tend to like to be more idealistic about life and like the idea of being vegan or vegetarian. While the people with the broad jaws, who have very strong digestion, who could be more vegetarian or vegan, like food too much, to give up their meat or their animal food or eat less of it. So it's kind of a ironic balance. The thing that I found is that if people eat what I call a full spectrum macrobiotic diet, where they have grains and they have vegetables, they have beans, they have fruit, they have natural animal foods, or if someone doesn't want to eat natural animal foods, at least some natural dairy food, then what happens is all bases are covered and they have options. They have options to eat more of something or less of something. So basically that is a diet that can satisfy different people's needs. Some people, because of body types, because of lifestyles, people who have very active lifestyles will need more calories, they'll need more animal food. People who are physical will need more animal food. People who are mental may need less, concentrated animal foods, less calories because they're not putting out as much energy. But everybody needs a certain basis in their diet. But it has to be adjusted for people's different needs. And there's a way to understand how to do this using understanding of energetics of food and energetics of lifestyle, which is another topic we'll have to talk about.